Today we're going to talk about what to do if your ex-boyfriend blocked you and how to get them to unblock you. Now, I want to start off by saying that I have some good news and some bad news. Which would you like to hear first? Well, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and talk about the bad news first. Here's the bad news. If your ex-boyfriend has blocked you, there's not a ton of things that you can do to get them to unblock you, but that's where the good news comes into play. Well, the good news is that I estimate in 90% of situations where an ex-boyfriend has blocked you, they will unblock you within a month or two. So that essentially means by doing nothing but sitting there, your ex has a super high probability of just unblocking you. Now, with that being said, there are 5 specific steps that I want you to take to increase the chances of not only getting your ex back, but getting them to unblock you during this very volatile time. Step number 1, make sure you get an honest accounting of what your chances of getting them back are. So you've been blocked by your ex-boyfriend. You've clearly done something to make them upset enough or make them hurt enough to not want to talk to you. The first thing you should always do is determine if this is even worth your time. Luckily for you, I have the perfect resource for you to do that. On my website, www.exboyfriend.com, I've put together a special quiz called the Ex Recovery Chances Quiz. This quiz is meant to give you an honest accounting of what your overall chances of getting your ex back are so that you can determine if this is even worth your time in pursuing. So all you have to do if you want to take that quiz to get that honest accounting of your chances is simply look in the description link below this YouTube video and click the link you see there. All right, now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about what you can do with step 2. Step 2, a soft block versus a hard block. In my opinion, there are 2 types of blocks that you can have done to you. A soft block, which essentially means that your ex has blocked you in the major components of communication like text messaging or phone calls, but they've left a few avenues of communication open. Here, I'll give you a quick example. You're in a soft block if your ex has blocked you on the phone or through text messaging, but you can still communicate with them through email or social media like Facebook. That is the gist of a soft block. A hard block, on the other hand, is completely different from a soft block. Where a soft block leaves you a few avenues of communication open, a hard block eliminates all of them. You are blocked everywhere you can possibly think of. Through the phone, through text messaging, through all of your social media profiles, through any of the apps that you share, through Skype, through video messaging, any possible way of communicating with your ex, they have blocked you from. Now, the end goal, if you've been blocked by your ex-boyfriend, should always be the same. It's always to find a way of communicating with them after a breakup so that you can improve your odds of success. Now, your overall goal, if you've been blocked, should always be the same. It's to find a way of communicating with your ex-boyfriend so that you can improve your chances of getting them back and eventually eliminate that being blocked aspect. This means soft blocks are exactly where you want to be. That is kind of the best case scenario if you've been blocked. And there's not really a good scenario if you've been blocked, to be honest with you, but soft blocks are kind of what you want to have happen because there's always a way of communicating with your ex. Now, hard block, on the other hand, is kind of the most difficult situation that you can encounter. And really the most important thing that you can do in situations where you've been hard blocked is to do what I'm about to suggest in step 3. Step 3, create mystery on your social media accounts. One thing that we know about breakups is that 90% of people who go through a breakup will at some point use social media to spy on what their ex-significant other is doing. This has been proven time and time again. This knowledge is your weapon, especially if you've been blocked. Now, most people who've been blocked freak out and think that their ex wants nothing to do with them and they're not interested at all with what's going on. Nothing could be further from the truth. Statistics say there's a 90% chance or a high 80% chance, 88, 89% chance that your ex is going to be using Facebook or any of the other social media accounts that you've kind of used to communicate to see what's going on in your life. This gives you a perfect opportunity to cultivate the image that you want to have cultivated, to create enough mystery or mystique about what you're doing to make them want to unblock you and reach out and ask you, hey, what's going on? You know, it's funny, I was just on the phone with one of the people who works for me today, and she told me a story about what happened when she was using one of those workout apps. One of those workout apps that allows people to see how many miles you've run in a day. So she hadn't talked to her ex-boyfriend in a long time, and she's been on a workout kick. She actually ran a couple of miles the other day, and it just so happened that when she ran those 9 or 10 miles on social media, that updated her ex-boyfriend. And then he texted her saying like, hey, I saw you ran 9 miles today. What's all that about? See, that mystery of, hey, why would she do that? What is going on in her head was enough to create action from her ex-boyfriend. You can do this in all kinds of ways, not just with a workout app, but Facebook, by posting awesome photos of environments you're kind of visiting, of going out to clubs and having a great time with your friends, going out on dates to create a little bit of jealousy. There's all sorts of ways that you can do this. And if you want kind of a breakdown of what you should be doing, I actually recommend you hop over to my website, www.exboyfriend.com, to get an honest accounting of maybe how you can navigate this specific social media problem. Step number 4, shift your mindset for long-term results. We live in a society where our average attention span is less than a goldfish. Something always needs to be capturing our attention every 8 to 9 seconds, or guess what? We lose interest. Well, the same thing can be said about results, right? Most of the people who I work with want results right now. They want it as quickly as possible. But sometimes, especially when it comes to attraction and building up a relationship with someone, or in your case, trying to rebuild a relationship with someone, you have to look at it in a long-term perspective. Most people who come to me want results within a month to 2 months. The problem is, especially in situations where you've been blocked and your ex has specifically done something to push you away, that kind of winds up the gap of your success. It's going to take longer to see success. So by understanding or changing your mindset to say, hey, maybe I don't need results in 1 or 2 months. Maybe I could get them in 6 months, and I'm okay with that. It gives you a slight edge, because instead of looking at a micro point of view, you're looking at things from a macro point of view. That simple shift in mindset can make all the difference, so you're not constantly obsessing about why your ex-boyfriend hasn't reached out to you yet. Why haven't they unblocked me yet? Am I doing anything that's working? I can't tell you how often I come and work with a client and they come back to me and tell me like, hey, I don't want my ex-boyfriend back anymore. And it's at that moment that they didn't want their ex-boyfriend back that all of a sudden he grows interested again. It's almost as if there's this invisible radar that automatically snaps into place when your ex-boyfriend knows that you don't want them back. And that is all about shifting your mindset. So you're looking at long-term results instead of short-term results. And finally, step 5, if all else fails, text them from a new number. Now, I want to go out of my way to make a point here. This is without a doubt the most risky proposition on this step-by-step list. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. This is only or should be applied if you find yourself in a hard block where you've tried every method you can possibly think of. It's been 6 months, you've been posting things on social media, your ex-boyfriend still hasn't reached out to you or unblocked you or responded to any of your attempts to reach out to them through email or any of those other weird means. If you've exhausted every avenue you can think of and still want to give this a try, it might be worth a chance of getting a new phone and texting them, hey, I just changed my number. I got a new phone. Didn't think you had my number. And texting them that way. This is just vague enough to not seem creepy. I mean, it's really creepy and kind of much. That's why I saved it for the last and said it's the most risky thing that you can do. But at the same time, if you've changed your number and your contacts lists were lost and you're going through your contacts and texting everyone you can think of and saying like, hey, I've got a new phone, here's my new number, it can be a little bit of an easier sort of bridge to a conversation with an ex. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. You're the bomb. If you haven't already, make sure you visit our website, www.exboyfriend.com, and take the quiz we have there. You can simply look in the description link. It's a quiz that will teach you what kind of chance you have of getting your ex back. Very easy to complete. It will take your answers, run them through an advanced algorithm, and give you an actual percentage idea of if you should be trying to get your ex back or not. The other thing I want to ask from you, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button to this channel and the bell notification. Every subscriber helps. And finally, do not hesitate to comment on these videos. We're trying to respond to as many comments as we possibly can. If you have a question about being blocked and what you should do, and maybe just need someone to listen to you and listen to your situation, comment on these YouTube videos. This is the best place to reach me or my team. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time.